So you're out touring new construction communities, and after a while, let's be honest, they all start to blur together. Model homes are beautiful. The grass is perfect, the kitchens sparkle, the pillows are fluffed just so. And every single one feels like the one until you walk into the next model, and then it's also the one. That's when it gets tricky. It's not just about which home looks the nicest. The real question becomes, how do you actually compare these new construction communities? How do you know which one is truly the right fit for you, your lifestyle, your budget, and your long-term plans? Let's talk about it. I'm not going to give you a checklist. I want to walk you through how I actually help my clients think through this, because this isn't about being a real estate expert. It's about learning how to feel the difference between what looks good and what lives well. So first, let's talk about location. And I don't mean just looking at Google Maps. Most people know the general area that they want to be in. Maybe it's for a shorter commute, school zone, or just the vibe of a certain side of town. But even within that area, communities can feel different. One might be right off the main road with easy access to everything. Another one might be tucked back, surrounded by woods, and feel just a bit more peaceful. Which one feels more like you? I had a client once that was dead set on being 20 minutes from work. We found two communities that were exactly 8 minutes away, but one required sitting in heavy traffic at a tricky intersection, while the other one had multiple ways in and out. That one small detail made her daily life way less stressful. That's the stuff that you don't notice until you start imagining your routine. My name is Deneen Gary. I'm a realtor here in Charleston, South Carolina, and the surrounding Low Country. As the Southern Living Yankee, I love helping people just like you buy and sell homes in the Charleston area. I specialize in helping people relocate to Charleston from out of state because I've been there and I've done it myself. I understand how exciting but still overwhelming a big move can be, but that's why I'm here, to help you every step of the way. If you're ready to make a move, reach out today. You can send me a text, shoot me an email, or even just pick up the phone and call. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell too. Now, let's talk about what's around the community. Sometimes you're walking through a beautiful new neighborhood, but just behind it is a stretch of land that's zoned for future commercial development. So maybe you're getting a grocery store nearby, or maybe you're waking up to the sound of a new gas station being built. It's always worth asking what's planned for the area. And then there's schools. Even if you don't have kids, school districts impact resale value. I've had buyers fall in love with two houses. The only real difference, one is zoned for a top-rated school. That one will usually appreciate more and attract more buyers down the line. So it's worth paying attention to, even if it's not something that is personally relevant to you right now. Now, let's get into the stuff that people don't usually think about until they are knee-deep in a decision, like the HOA. Every new construction community has one. Some of them are super relaxed, and the others, not so much. I had a buyer who was planning to build a small backyard garden. It sounds simple, right? Well, it turns out that the HOA required approval for any planting beds, and the process took 2 weeks. So it's always a good idea to ask, can I fence in my yard? What if I wanted to add a shed? Are there rules about renting out my home later? Another thing that people ask me all the time is, how do I know if the builder is any good? And that is a huge question, because when you are buying new construction, you're not just buying a house. You're buying into a builder's process. Some builders are absolutely fantastic. They're organized, responsive, quality focused. Others, well, not so much. I always recommend talking to someone who lives in the neighborhood. You can knock on a door if you feel bold, or you can ask the sales agent if there's a homeowner that you could speak with. You're going to learn more in 5 minutes of real talk with them than any online review. You can also look around the neighborhood. Do the homes feel like they're being maintained well? Are there cracks in the sidewalks already? Do people seem proud to live there? Okay, so speaking of walking around, do that. Walk the actual community. Don't just stay in the model home. You might want to drive through in the morning, then again after work, so that you can see what the vibe is like when people are actually living there. You're going to start to feel which places are active peaceful, busy, or social, and which ones feel just a little bit off. Another subtle but important thing is the layout of the community. Does it feel open or does it feel pretty cramped? Are the lots large or narrow? I had a couple once who fell in love with a model, but when we walked their actual lot, they realized that they would just be 10 feet from their neighbor's kitchen window. That was an absolute deal breaker. And speaking of lots, don't forget to ask what's included. That is one of the trickiest parts of comparing builders. One may advertise a lower base price, but they're going to charge you for everything. Lot premiums, upgraded cabinets, even things like a shower door. Another one might include more in the base price. So even though it starts higher, you're going to get more for your money. That's why it is so important to ask the builder's rep to walk you through a real world example, not the cheapest model with 0 upgrades and not the over the top model home with every bell and whistle, but something that is kind of in the middle and reflects how most buyers actually build their homes. And don't forget to ask about timelines. Some builders are finishing homes in maybe 3 to 4 months. Others are going to be running closer to 8 to 10 or more. If you're on a specific schedule, like you need to sell a home before you buy, or if you need to move for a job, that timeline can make or break your decision. Then there's the builder's customer service. One of my past clients built in 2 different communities, one for her and one for her parents. Both homes were beautiful, but the experiences were like night and day. One builder was very communicative, proactive, and made the process enjoyable. The other one, not so much. Delays, miscommunication, lack of updates. It made a beautiful home feel so stressful to build. So when you're comparing communities, you're not just comparing countertops. You're comparing people, systems, and processes. That is what impacts your day-to-day during the build and the long-term feeling that you have about your home. A few other things that are easy to miss but totally worth noticing. Where are the amenities? One community might have a gorgeous pool and a clubhouse, but it's going to be tucked way in the back. Another one has smaller amenities, but they are right at the entrance, so they're pretty easy to walk to. Depending on how you like to use your neighborhood, that could matter a lot. Also, pay attention to what phase the neighborhood is in. If it's early in the build out, great. You might get a better price, but you're also going to have construction noise and traffic for a good while. If it's near completion, it'll be quieter, but prices might be higher. Again, it depends on what matters more to you. Here's one that seems small, but it can affect your daily life. Garbage pickup. Some communities have centralized bins that you roll to the end of the street. Others are going to have individual collection. Not a deal breaker either way, but it's still good to know ahead of time. Now, let's talk about feeling torn between 2 places. It happens all the time. You like the location in one and the lot in another. One feels cozy, the other feels bright and open. Here's what I tell my clients in that situation. Go back, visit again, walk it, drive it, sit in the car and imagine pulling in after a long day. Which one feels more like home? Forget the spreadsheets and just trust your gut. I had a client who was stuck between 2 neighborhoods. We toured each one 3 times. On the 3rd visit, she said, "You know, I always feel relaxed when I drive into this one. The other one makes me think about my to-do list." That was it. Decision made. Sometimes it's not about the price or the features. It's about the rhythm, the energy, the way you feel when you picture your life in that space. My name is Deneen. I'm a realtor here in Charleston, South Carolina, and the surrounding Low Country. As the Southern Living Yankee, I love helping people just like you buy and sell homes in the Charleston area. I specialize in helping people relocate to Charleston from out of state because I've been there and I've done it myself. I understand how exciting but still overwhelming a big move can be. But that's why I'm here, to help you every step of the way. If you're ready to make a move, reach out today. You can send me a text, shoot me an email, or even just pick up the phone and call. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you're up to date on all things Charleston and Low Country living. So if you're feeling stuck or overwhelmed by options, let's talk. Drop a comment or send a message. No pressure, just real help from someone who has walked this road with a lot of happy clients. And if this video helped you feel a little clearer, the next one that you should check out is all about the actual step-by-step process of building new construction, from signing the contract to choosing design finishes to your final walkthrough. The link is in the description below. Thank you so much for joining me. So long for today.